All right, guys, I've created something pretty interesting, pretty cool, pretty retro. And I'm going to show you exactly, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it from A to Z. All right. So first, we're in Suno. If you don't know Suno, if you are not in the community, the RPG, what are you doing? You're getting left behind. But anyway, Suno is the best AI music generator. I'm using it all the time on live stream. But when you're creating something, you need to have, or at least me personally, when I'm creating something visual or I want to create something visual, I need to create the audio first. So I created a song and it goes like this. All right, once you have something good, I would recommend going into your digital audio workstation, your DAW of choice, whether it's FL Studio, Ableton, Logic, just kind of make it sound a little cleaner. At the time of recording this, Suno, at least the 4.5 plus model, is really good, but the output, even in WAV format, is not always the best. So I would go into the community, learn how to at least master your track to make it sound just a little bit better. You don't need to be an audio engineer or a sound designer. Just go in, clean it up a little bit. If not, it doesn't really matter unless you plan on distributing your music, which we also teach in the community as well. So, like I said, if you're not in the community, you're just missing out. But my friend, create a song that you like, okay? And then download it. If you have the, what is it, the pro version of Suno, you can download the .wav file. Or if you don't, if you're on the free plan, you can get the MP3. Ideally, like I said, get the stems if you can and make it sound a little bit better. But if you're just testing this out, if you're just playing with it, then that's fine. So download your track. And then you should, by at this point, know what visual you want to create, right? Because you created the song, it gave you some whim of inspiration. It made you visualize something. So for this song in particular, I obviously wanted to create an 8-bit kind of soundtrack doom style song, but I wanted it to be punchy, trappy, a little ratchet. So that's what I created. And I created that because I already knew kind of what I wanted. All right. So I played with the idea. I munched on it. I went on a walk. I drank some coffee. And then when I got back, I was like, okay, I had already created the cover art. It's a 8-bit devil. So I want it to be kind of Doom-esque or retro FPS shooter, right? So then I took that idea and I went into VO3. All right. I didn't use any fancy prompting. I didn't use my prompt generator or anything. So I can give you these prompts. It's extremely simple. But I took that same image that I used for my cover art, which you can use ChatGPT or Gemini. I am a Gemini fanboy at the time of recording this. So like I said, I took that image and I plugged it into VO3 with just what I imagined, a perfectly looped video, 8-bit devil head floating around in the shadows in a retro video game fashion. 8-bit fire flashes from behind him. First frame syncs up perfectly to the last frame. Now this worked pretty well. It's not perfect, but I'll show you how we can fix that. But let me show you the video real quick. So just like that. Like I said, it's not perfect, but for a first generation prompt, like this is really good. And so then I took that idea and then I was like, okay, how can I make this a little bit more immersive? So I immediately thought, okay, how can I add some sort of FPS element to it? So I prompted this green screen, perfectly looped video, FPS POV of a retro 8-bit video game of using dual laser guns firing 8-bit bullets repeatedly. First frame matches up to the last frame perfectly. Now this could have been a little bit better. I wanted like intermittent laser beams, not like one continuous laser beam as you can see. But I figured this would be perfect, right? Everything looks good. We have, bullets coming towards the viewer. So I imagined, that's kind of like the devil's attacks. So I kept it, right? And then lastly, I compiled everything into CapCut. You can use Premiere Pro, you can use DaVinci, it doesn't matter. CapCut is my favorite because it's perfect for lazy people. And I do not like editing videos that much. They just have so many AI features now, and it just makes it so easy to get a good result. But anyway, so I took both of the outputs from VO3, the animated devil head, and then the POV of our laser pistols. And I compiled them in here. Okay, so I layered the devil on the bottom and the pistols on the top. And so to get rid of this, we are going to need to first select the track and then go to remove background and select chroma key. Okay, that will bring up a little dropper for you to select the green screen. And then you're going to want to up the intensity. As you can see, no intensity. And then if you up the intensity like this, you just find the balance of not losing any of the actual elements on there, but making sure there's no green to be found. So we'll leave it about 56 for my generation. Your generation may differ. Shadow is fine. Feather edge I turned up pretty substantially just so it's a little more laser-esque. So just make it look good, right? Play it back a few times. Just like that. And then obviously cleanup edge, this is going to be very important too, because as you can see with no cleanup edge, you can still see a little bit of green around the fire. So we'll just turn that up just a smidge like that. Just, we don't want any green. It's completely unrelated to the scene. No rhyme intended. And then lastly, I just took that wave file of our song, threw it in our composition timeline, and then I selected the best, or personally my favorite part of the track, and matched up the visual to the audio. To do that, I had to double up the visual elements because each of these are 8 seconds, so total was 16 seconds, which for the guns was perfect. There wasn't really any hard cuts, but for the devil, there was a hard cut. So I had to put a transition. And so I wanted to make it fit the scene, you know? So the transition I used, I just looked up glitch, and then I used the computer glitch, just fit the artistic narrative that I had in my brain. So I threw that in there, and I timed the transition, or rather the track, to match up with the transition. Meaning I changed the track to line up with this transition at a more chaotic moment. So this is a snare roll for one of the ending bars. So it just kind of transitions into the next part of the song as soon as the visual element changes too. And that really all there is to that, aside from one more thing. And that is something that I actually experimented with, and it turned out perfectly because I wanted to somehow skew the aiming of the guns, right? So it would kind of follow the devil as he moved around. But I couldn't figure out how to do that. I couldn't find a skew option in CapCut. If there is a skew option and I'm just not finding it, let me know in the comments. But I've looked for like 10 minutes, but I found an alternative. So what I did, where is it? It's an AI feature. Okay, duh. It's in basic. And if you scroll down, AI movement, I just set it to dynamic. So that gives actual movement to the guns. You can see it kind of pulling back. It's tilting a little bit. It doesn't necessarily follow the target, but it adds just more movement to it. So it feels more alive and immersive. So my friends, that's literally all there is to it. It just stemmed from an idea. I wanted to hear kind of like a Mario, like I was thinking of a Mario Brothers beat, but I wanted it to be more PlayStation-ish era, kind of like more Final Fantasy-esque. So I had that idea. I created the song for it. And then the song planted an idea for the cover art, which then led to this little video animation, which I can use as a full-length music video or visualizer for the YouTube version of the song when it comes out. Like I said, join the community if you're not in there yet. If you're watching this in the community, then obviously good choice. But we teach how to do all of this in the community more in depth, including the entire business infrastructure behind it. So, my friend, hopefully this was of value to you. Like I said, join the community. At the time of recording this, it's free. That's why I'm plugging it so much. But if you're watching this in the future and it costs $1,000 to get in, I'm sorry, but you missed out. It's still worth the price. So, my friend, I will see you in the next video. I appreciate you watching this. Until then, see you later.